Ku Klux Klan, often known as the KKK, is one of the most infamous hate groups in American history, built on a foundation of white supremacy, racism, and extreme intolerance. It first emerged in 1865 after the U.S. Civil War, created by former Confederate soldiers to resist Reconstruction and suppress the rights of freed African Americans. The Klan's ideology centers on the belief that white Protestants are superior and must maintain control over social, political, and racial order. Over time, the group expanded its hatred beyond Black Americans to include Jews, Catholics, immigrants, and later LGBTQ+ individuals. The Klan became known for its terror tactics, lynchings, bombings, beatings, and cross burnings used to intimidate, silence, and control minority communities. During the 1920s, it reached millions of members and gained political influence across the U.S., while in the 1960s it violently resisted the civil rights movement by murdering activists and bombing Black churches. Its members often operated under white robes and hoods, symbolizing anonymity and terror. Although today's Klan is fractured and far smaller, its legacy of racial hatred, violence, and intimidation remains a stark reminder of America's struggle with domestic extremism and racial terror. Aryan Brotherhood, founded in 1964 at San Quentin State Prison in California, is one of the most violent and powerful white supremacist prison gangs in the United States. Built on racist and neo-Nazi ideology, the group believes in the dominance of white people and uses symbols like swastikas and shamrocks to express its identity. While race is central to its image, the Brotherhood operates largely as a criminal enterprise focused on power and profit. Its members follow the brutal motto, blood in, blood out, meaning initiation often requires murder, and leaving the group is nearly impossible. The Aryan Brotherhood has been responsible for hundreds of murders, both inside and outside prison walls, often targeting rival gang members, witnesses, or even their own who break loyalty. They run extensive criminal operations including drug trafficking, extortion, and murder for hire, with orders frequently issued from behind bars through smuggled phones. Despite being a small fraction of the prison population, the group is linked to a significant percentage of prison killings. Today, the Aryan Brotherhood remains a dangerous blend of racist extremism and organized crime, continuing to pose a major threat to both prison security and public safety. Aryan Circle, founded in 1985 within the Texas prison system, is one of the most violent and influential white supremacist prison gangs in the United States, created as a breakaway from the Aryan Brotherhood of Texas. The group mixes neo-Nazi ideology with organized crime. Its members promote white racial purity and use Nazi symbols like swastikas and lightning bolts to express allegiance to white supremacy. The gang operates under strict hierarchy and loyalty rules, with members required to commit violent acts such as assault or murder to join or prove their commitment. The Aryan Circle is known for enforcing control through stabbings, kidnappings, and beatings of both inmates and civilians who defy its orders. Beyond ideology, it runs drug trafficking networks, extortion rackets, and violent retaliation operations from inside prison walls using smuggled phones. The group has also targeted minorities and LGBTQ individuals, committing hate-based attacks to reinforce its racist beliefs. Despite being smaller than some other gangs, the Aryan Circle's ruthlessness, strict discipline, and combination of white supremacist extremism with organized criminal activity make it one of the most dangerous and aggressive prison-based hate groups in America. Nazi Lowriders. This group was founded in the 1970s within California's youth prison system and are violent white supremacist gang that blends neo-Nazi ideology with organized criminal activity. Their beliefs center on white racial superiority and hostility toward minorities, especially Black and Hispanic people, and they use Nazi symbols like swastikas and SS bolts to display allegiance. While rooted in hate, the gang operates as a criminal network deeply involved in drug trafficking, extortion, and murder. Both inside prisons and on the streets, members earn status through extreme violence, often carrying out assaults or killings to prove loyalty. The group is known for targeting other inmates and minority groups in racially motivated attacks, as well as running large methamphetamine and heroin operations. Uniquely, the Nazi lowriders act as intermediaries for larger gangs like the Aryan Brotherhood, enforcing orders and managing drug trades within prisons. Their influence stretches beyond California into states like Nevada, Arizona, and Florida. Despite their smaller size, their combination of racist ideology, organized violence, and close ties to other extremist groups makes them one of the most dangerous white supremacist prison gangs in the United States. 211 Crew. The 211 Crew is a white supremacist prison gang founded in the mid-1990s in Colorado, originally formed to protect white inmates from perceived threats inside the Denver County Jail. Its ideology centers on white racial superiority and loyalty to the gang, with members using symbols such as swastikas, shamrocks, and 211 tattoos to identify themselves. The gang operates under a strict hierarchy, with ranks and titles used to enforce discipline and control. Members commit extreme acts of violence to prove loyalty, including assaults, murders, and racially motivated attacks against minorities. Uniquely, the 211 crew has carried out high-profile killings outside prison, such as the assassination of Colorado Department of Corrections Director Tom Clements in 2013, demonstrating their ability to plan and execute complex attacks on public officials. They are also heavily involved in organized criminal activities, including drug trafficking, weapons smuggling, extortion, and inmate intimidation, often coordinating orders from inside prison. Despite being smaller than some national gangs, their combination of racial extremism, strategic violence, and capability to operate both inside and outside prisons makes the 211 crew one of the most dangerous and unpredictable white supremacist gangs in the United States' Black Guerrilla family. This group is a highly organized and violent prison gang founded in 1966 at San Quentin State Prison in California by George Jackson and his associates. The group combines black nationalist ideology with Marxist-Leninist revolutionary principles, framing itself as a vanguard organization advocating resistance against oppression. Particularly within the prison system, BGF members operate under a paramilitary structure with oaths, codes of conduct, and a central committee, using symbols like black dragons, crossed machetes, and the letters BGF to identify allegiance. While ideological rhetoric is central, the gang engages heavily in criminal enterprises including drug trafficking, armed robbery, homicide, extortion, and contraband smuggling, both inside prison and in surrounding communities. Uniquely, the BGF has demonstrated the ability to control prison operations remotely, directing cell phone networks, smuggling, and violent enforcement from within correctional facilities. It has expanded its influence beyond California, notably in Maryland, where it has conducted multiple murders, coordinated large-scale drug operations, and maintained dominance over other inmates. The combination of ideological motivation, strict organization, and capacity to orchestrate violence inside and outside prison walls makes the BGF one of the most dangerous and strategically sophisticated prison gangs in the United States, the Gangster Disciples. This group is a highly organized and violent street and prison gang originating from Chicago in the late 1960s and early 1970s, co-founded by Larry Hoover. While the gang's ideology incorporates elements of knowledge, wisdom, understanding, loyalty, and respect, its primary focus has historically been organized criminal enterprise rather than political or racial extremism. GD members use symbols such as the six-pointed star, the colors black and blue, and tattoos to signify allegiance, and they operate under a strict hierarchical structure with leaders, governors, and enforcers. The gang engages in a wide range of violent and profitable activities, including drug trafficking, armed robbery, murder, extortion, carjacking, and interstate racketeering. The GD has been responsible for numerous shootings and high-profile murders, and its influence spans over 100 cities in more than 30 states. Notable members include Larry Hoover, the longtime imprisoned founder, and Gakira Barnes, a young member known for her online presence and street violence. The combination of disciplined organization, nationwide reach, and strategic use of both prison and street networks makes the Gangster Disciples one of the most dangerous and enduring criminal gangs in the United States. White Aryan Resistance. White Aryan Resistance is a neo-Nazi and white supremacist organization founded in 1983 by Tom Metzger, a former high-ranking member of the Ku Klux Klan. The group promotes white racial purity, anti-Semitism, anti-immigrant beliefs, and opposes interracial relationships, openly embracing Nazi symbols and rhetoric to advance its ideology. WAR has historically encouraged violent action through affiliated skinheads and small extremist cells, exemplifying the leaderless resistance model where followers commit hate crimes in alignment with the group's beliefs. The organization published propaganda, including its newspaper, The Insurgent, to recruit supporters and spread racist messaging. YAR has been linked to multiple violent acts, including the 1988 murder of an Ethiopian immigrant in Portland, Oregon, for which a civil jury awarded $12.8 million against the group for inciting violence. Notable members include founder Tom Metzger and high-ranking operative Dennis Mahan, both of whom played significant roles in spreading white supremacist ideology and organizing extremist networks Act for America. This group is a U.S.-based advocacy organization founded in 2007 by Brigitte Gabriel, and it is widely described by researchers and civil rights groups as an anti-Muslim organization that promotes the narrative that Islamic law and extremist ideologies threaten American society. The group campaigns heavily against what it calls Sharia infiltration, pushing legislation in multiple states to restrict the use of foreign or religious law in courts, despite experts noting that no such threat exists. Act for America mobilizes supporters through national chapters and online networks, often amplifying messaging that portrays Muslim immigrants and Muslim American communities as security risks. The Southern Poverty Law Center and the Anti-Defamation League identify the organization as part of the broader anti-Muslim activist landscape, highlighting its role in spreading conspiratorial claims about Islamization and its history of hosting events linked to prominent anti-Muslim figures. While Act for America does not engage in organized physical violence, its activism has been tied to public rallies and campaigns that have inflamed anti-Muslim sentiment and normalized discriminatory rhetoric in political spaces as the Nation of Islam. This group is a black nationalist religious movement founded in 1930 that blends a unique form of Islam with a doctrine centered on black self-determination and racial separatism. The group teaches that Wallace Fard Muhammad was a divine figure and that Elijah Muhammad was his prophet, placing them at the core of a belief system rejected by mainstream Islam. A central part of their ideology is the Yaqub narrative, which claims the white race was artificially created and inherently oppressive, reinforcing the group's call for separation rather than integration. While the NOI emphasizes discipline, economic independence, and community development, it has also been widely criticized for promoting racially inflammatory rhetoric, anti-Semitic messages, and strong anti-LGBTQ statements under leaders like Louis Farrakhan. Though the NOI has not typically operated as a violent organization, it has been linked to periods of internal conflict, aggressive street-level enforcement by the Fruit of Islam, and ideological tensions that contributed to violent outcomes, most notably the hostile split with Malcolm X before his assassination by NOI affiliates, the Dirty White Boys. Dirty White Boys are a U.S. federal prison gang formed in the mid-1980s that operates primarily as a profit-driven criminal network rather than an ideological white supremacist organization. Their ideology is loosely racial in identity, centered on being a white-only gang, but they are not known for promoting formal neo-Nazi or extremist doctrine, which sets them apart from groups like the Aryan Brotherhood or Aryan Circle. Instead, their structure is built around loyalty, retaliation, and protection, and they often form alliances with both white and non-white prison gangs when it benefits criminal operations.